Hello, my name is David, and for this week's online assignment, we watched a TED Talk that dealt with coping with anxiety, and Olivia Reams, who was the speaker, gave three tips to really help with that. But personally, what induces fear for me is really just the unknown, my future in a way, just because um, I'm fearful that I won't live up to expectations, not only my own but also my family's, or fear that I won't be successful, or where I want to be, to where I can have a relaxful life, enjoying my career and what I love doing. And something that brings me stress on a day-to-day basis is, I don't know, this one's tough, just because school definitely does induce stress for me. Not so much this summer. Like this summer, I haven't had stress about my classes at all, and I've actually really enjoyed my classes. And so, current stage of stress, not really anything really stresses me out. Um, and then anxiety in my own life definitely relates back to my future, and what that holds. Graduating on time, that gives me a lot of anxiety, just because I've struggled with schoolwork in the past, and staying motivated and keeping my head on tight. And also, really, what brings me anxiety is being in a overcrowded area, just like a lot of people around me. It doesn't happen all the time, but occasionally it does, to where I just feel like anything could happen. And it starts to worry me, and like it gets to a point to where I'm on high alert and just constantly like looking out and checking my surroundings and making sure everything's okay. Even if I go out drinking with a couple friends, like I find myself only having one or two drinks, just because I want to make sure everybody else is okay, and then if something does happen, that at least I would be able to help in any way I can. Um, Now, how do I try to cope with this anxiety? Is when I'm in a crowded area, I really just try to push it out of my head. I started, when I would get that pit in my stomach, I would look for five things I can see, four things I can feel, three things I can touch, two things I can hear, one thing I can smell. And that just kind of like grounds me. I'm pretty sure I messed up that order, but I remember I saw it a couple weeks back on just like helping control anxiety, and just really grounds yourself. And so I really started doing that, and that's helped. And then also just trying to breathe, to take a moment and think snake or stick. Is this really, like, kind of like when you're walking through the woods and you think you see a snake in the trail ahead, but as you get closer you realize it's a stick, and that you got scared and fearful for no reason. And so I just kind of tried to put that mindset into play, and that's really helped too. And the tip I thought that was discussed in the TED Talk, that was beneficial, was really just being able to forgive yourself. Um, I feel like being able to forgive yourself not only takes ownership of the anxiety, but it also relieves you of it, and it makes you feel as if it's not the end of the world. You're not the only person dealing with this type of thing. You're not the only person dealing with anxiety. And really, it's the right step forward in getting past it and moving on, because dwelling on anxiety isn't going to help it. Just trying to find ways that help you. And for me, being forgiving of myself, has helped me the most. And then, how could I help a client who is struggling with anxiety? Really, just kind of talking through them on, what triggers their anxiety, what stressors affect it, and what situations they are the most, and like, also giving them the tips that, I've found that helped me. The trick that I said earlier with, finding 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, that sort of thing. And also, like, really truthfully, the forgiving. I feel like a lot of people just kind of dwell on it and get embarrassed about it. Even if nobody else saw it, they still like feel embarrassed. And being able to forgive yourself is extremely important and beneficial. So thank you.